What is up, guys? It's Brillymister here, and welcome to my loot from 10 hours of Corporal Beast video. If you do enjoy the content, don't forget to subscribe and hit the little bell icon so you're notified of all my future uploads. There's also a link in the description down below to the Discord server, and drop a like if you do enjoy the video. Let's get into it. So in my inventory here, I've got the loot from the whole 10 hours of QBD. It kind of goes down in money order, or what I'm guessing to be money order, apart from the coins at the end, which is obviously worth more than some snapdragons. So you obviously get the dragon bones and the royal D hides as a pretty consistent drop. I think I got a rare drop table of D bones at some point. I got like 80 or something, so it's not going to balance out for the exact amount for the kills I got. I also think I got pretty lucky with the amount of visages I got in the 10 hours. I got 3 in 10 hours, so 1 every 3 hours. I think that's probably pretty lucky. I mean, you can probably expect 1 or 2, but 3 is definitely a little bit on the lucky side. But they're only like $1.5 million, so it's only a little bit of extra GP. It's nothing extreme. Most of your GP, I think, comes from the Landsteins, which are a decent price each. The Onyx bolts and the brews really do start to add up. Look at that, 4k each for a 2 dose. But I reckon I can make that even higher if I decant them into 4 doses. I'll have a look at that for both the potions once we price checked. Another thing I think that's worth noting is, even over 10 hours, it didn't balance out with the amount of pieces I got. I got 6 royal sights, 6 royal frames, 8 royal torsion springs, but I only got 1 of the royal belt stabilizers. So over 10 hours, I'd have thought that would have averaged out a little bit, and I'd have got 4 or 5 of each rather than 6, 8 and 1. Also only got 1 dragon kite shield. I'm not sure what the drop rate is for this, but I don't think it's that common, so I'm not sure if that'd be something you'd average out. I'll have a check, and it'll be in a different part of this video. These stone spirits here, I believe these are what they added when they took out, because there was quite a lot of ore drops like Addy ore and rune ore and stuff, which I thought was really going to devalue this method. But I mean, these stone spirits, they're 905 GP each, they're 1.2k each. It's a decent amount still. You've lost a lot of GP compared to when I did it before from the magic seeds. They're only 20k. They used to be like a couple of 100k. And then I got a few rare drop table things I got down here. I got some prayer potions, some uncut diamonds. I'm not sure if they're on the rare drop table or if they were actual drops from it, but I got them there. They're not worth a massive amount anymore. 1.1k each. Yeah, that's not a lot. So let's open up the price check and see how much we got. 46.4 mil. That is not a bad amount for 10 hours of QBD. I'm going to go into the next bit and I'll break down all the loot per hour and compare it to all the other bosses I've done. But 46 mil is actually fairly competitive. I mean, it was dragged up a little bit by the fact that I got 3 visages, but even if I only take them out, it's still 42 mil per hour, which is definitely a very good amount. I think I'll be able to bump that even higher if I decant the potions, so I'm going to do that quickly in a second. And I'll show you how much extra I made from decanting the potions. So if we price check just the brews and the restores on their own, 3.35 mil. So I'm going to go to decant them now. There's a guy in the max guild where you can decant them, not that one, the guy just over here. So I'm going to decant them up and we'll see what we get once I've decanted them. So it's only another 120k, but it's 120k for literally walking to that guy, clicking him, and then that's it, done. So that's another 120k that I will definitely take into the bank. So when we get to actually breaking down the stats from what I got from this, I got 267 kills in the 10 hours, which is a little bit of a lower kill rate than it was at Corporal Beast. My kills were, I did it all on Slayer tasks, so I could get higher speed kills. My kills were all between sort of 120 with the fast ones, 140, 145 kind of with the slower ones. So including the time taken to get your loot, go back through, and there's also a little bit of time from going into the instance from it spawning. It you can't kill it much quicker, but the total loot, as you can see, was still good and was 4.6 mil an hour. There's a lot less costs involved with doing this than there was with Corp or any of the other bosses, as I don't have to use a scrimshaw or vampirism at all. You can go completely fine with just your food or whatever, and you get quite a lot of rock tails from the chest as well, which I use some of as well, just to extend my trips a little bit. I wasn't using anything augmented other than my scythe, and it reduces your costs quite a lot. That said, the average loot per kill was pretty decent because you always get that consistent amount from the bones and the hides, and then all the other drops kind of add on top. So the average loot per kill was definitely very worthwhile. So yeah, slower kill speed but higher drop value. So it averaged out fairly similar to Corp. So we're going to go on to the next bit, which is comparing it with all of the other bosses and see how it stacks up. So once we get into comparing it with the other bosses that I've done loot from 10 hours of so far, it compares fairly evenly to Corp. I mean, I made 200k less at Corp over 10 hours, which is a pretty negligible amount. However, my costs per hour for doing Corp were higher, as I used a Scrimshaw of Vampirism, but you could do it without. It just means you're going to have to bank more often. The main difference you can see there is Corp, you had a much higher kill speed but a lot lower average per kill, and I guess you do kind of have a chance, however rare it is, of getting a decent high value drop like a Sigil, which is 5 or 6 mil, whereas at QBD the highest thing you're going to get is the Visage, and there's not really much else that's of high loot. When you compare it to Hellware and the God Wars 2 bosses, they should really, I think, pull ahead a little bit more. I mean, Hellware I got very lucky, and Vindicta, as you can see, I got very unlucky. Didn't get a single drop in the whole 10 hours of Vindicta. Vindicta was the opposite way, not Vindicta, Hellware was the other way around, and I got very, very lucky, and I got like 5 or 6 drops in the 10 hours. And that's why you see such a big difference. But I would expect both of them, really, if I did it for long enough. Like if I did it for 100 hours, I imagine they'd both average out around the 6 mil per hour. Again, they are slightly lower on the actual sort of kills. I mean, I only got 6 kills different in 10 hours from QBD to Vindicta. But obviously Vindicta, you do have that potential of getting the massive drop of like a Lance or a Crest, which are both over 20-25 mil at the time of recording this, which is absolutely ridiculous. Whereas QBD, you don't have that. But the average sort of like random loot from QBD is definitely a lot higher and more consistent, and that's where it brings its loot per kill up. Hellware, like I said, I got very, very lucky. That has so far had the lowest kill rate over the 10 hours, only 25 kills now. But I got very lucky, and I mean, my kill average is like 432k, which is absolutely nuts, because like the highest value non-rare drop from there is like 450, 500k. So that's an absolutely nuts figure. I wouldn't expect to be able to repeat that very often, if at all. So that's going to pretty much conclude this now. Hope you enjoyed. Thank you very much for watching. If you did enjoy the video, don't forget to subscribe and hit the little bell icon to be notified of all my future content. And drop a like if you did enjoy the video, as it does really help. Any comments, leave in the section down below. I pretty much reply to every single comment because I don't get very many at the moment. So if you do want to drop a comment, leave it down below. Until next time, see ya.